I have with me Colin from the YouTube channel CS Guitars. Colin, are you surviving day 2 of 42 Gear Street?
I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
It was a late night last night.
Yeah.
I drank a little bit too much.
Yeah.
This morning was rough, but I managed to go over that hump, and I'm ready to go for the afternoon. I'm coming in hot with some stuff, so it's going to be exciting.
Excellent. Tell us everything about what you do on the internet. What's your deal?
I do science and technology, science of technology for musical equipment. So if you want to know how an amplifier works, how a valve amplifies, what transistors do, circuits of pedals and all that sort of thing, I do breakdowns of that and explain all the technical questions that guitarists tend not to know. Okay,
so analog and digital, or are you on one side more than the other?
I'm more an analog guy.
Okay.
Digital technology is a sort of black box of wonders a lot of the time.
Yeah.
It's difficult to explain it, and it's difficult to comprehend it.
Yeah.
But I think most people want to know about the analog stuff, and that's where I specialise.
What is the most exciting gear you got to try recently?
Recently, well, here there's a few pedals that TC Electronics showed me, which I'm not allowed to talk about until whatever that is.
Okay.
But they were very exciting, and I've tried a couple of guitars here. But there's a Heritage Les Paul.
Oh yeah, the Les Paul. Yeah, I love this one. Yeah.
Really, really nice. So yeah, I'd love to get one of those as well.
Yeah. Okay. And outside of 42 Gear Street, any exciting stuff you want to mention?
I'm trying to remember any gear that I've got and used recently. I'll have to pass on that question. I can't.
Okay.
My brain is here and not anywhere else.
Okay. So let's talk about 42 Gear Street. I don't remember. I think I asked you the question, but I don't remember the answer. So is that your first time, or second time, or third time, or fourth time?
This is my second time being here. I was at the very first one. The Henning put on. Missed the two in the middle for world-related reasons, and I'm back for this one, meeting new people and enjoying being back in Germany in the sunshine.
Yeah. What do you think of this crazy event organized by this crazy guy?
I don't know how he does it. I don't know how he pulls it off. It's a lot of work and a lot of money to put this kind of thing together. But yeah, it's definitely got better since the last I was here. Well, more organised. He's learned his lessons from from running around and having get everyone managing everything themselves. He's got a team in who's looking after everybody, and it's all running very smoothly so far.
Tell us some crazy stories about the first edition.
The first edition.
Yeah.
I can cast my mind back. There was a problem with we were all given SSD drives to get our videos from the room to get put onto there, but he discovered that none of them would read fast enough to work in the system. He planned to plug them in, so we'll just get the data straight to it, but he bought the wrong speeded cards. So it messed up the whole thing, because then we had to wait, and after every video session, wait for it to transfer from one drive down to each individual drive, and it
slowed down everything.
It slowed everything down, but that's not an issue this time around. He's again, that's something that's been changed to make the process a little bit better.
Yeah. So as you are back here for the 4th edition, I suppose it's a positive experience for you to be there, but tell us in more detail, what's in it for you to be here?
Networking opportunities, obviously getting the chance to meet other YouTubers, other people, other the brands especially, and get those conversations, because that's money for me down the line. You know, it keeps me in a job if I'm meeting up with brands and they're they're happy with the work I'm putting in, and we can talk and negotiate. So so really is about the people and about the future prospects.
Okay.
And there's obviously the hot tubs and sitting around, and there's a lot of relaxation to be had as well as the hard work, and so it's a little bit of work and a little bit of a holiday for me.
And when did you start your YouTube channel?
I started in 2011.
Okay.
So it's 2011 when I really kicked it off. There was little videos on the channel before then. I've had the channel for a long time. Since YouTube opened its doors, that channel's been there. But I wasn't really doing anything with it. Just little things you filmed with your friends and that sort of stuff. But then the guitar content was about 2011. I was just come out of university. I was on the job search, and I was like, well, until I find a job, maybe I'll do some YouTube stuff. And fast forward to now, I've been working for myself. I quit my job to work on this full time.
So now you do this full time?
Yeah, I do this full time, and it's going pretty well.
Okay. And what has changed in the guitar YouTube game since you started?
Pretty much everything.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's a very different world from where I started. And quality of everything has got to be much, much higher, obviously. Everyone's getting much better equipment now. And I think a lot of us in the early days set a standard that everyone now follows. And so people coming in new to it now are coming in at a much higher level than I was ever at. It took me a long time to reach there, but it's also harder for them to achieve right off the bat. So it's a very different game, and I've been trying to adapt with it changing. And of course, things like TikTok are coming in, and people's viewing habits are changing. So you've got to try and stay relevant in a world that's I don't know how much longer YouTube will be around. But I hope it will be a long time. But there's always the fear that this all goes away and I got to go back to having a real job again.
And at the moment, so we are in 2022, how do you make your money? Is that through the YouTube monetization? Is that through partnerships, through gear reviews you get paid to do? What's the split?
Yeah, pretty much all of those.
Okay.
The money comes in through obviously the YouTube advertisements that everyone skips and hates and wants to get rid of, because I understand that they're frustrating, but that makes me a good portion of my money for people watching. But also it's mainly, the money's mainly coming in from brands and sponsors who wants to promote product on the channel. And as long as I can create a good informational, educational video around the products that they have, then I'm happy to take their money.
And how do you keep it real, or let's say, how do you keep it honest? Sorry, because you take money to produce videos, so basically you get paid to say what you have to say, right? So that's how it works. So how do you do it?
Absolutely not how it works. The contracts that I often sign with brands, one of the things in the contract is you must give your honest opinion. Because it doesn't benefit me or the brand or the consumer if I lie about if something's not good and then say it is. All that does is it pisses off the people buying the product, and then they're complaining at me because I was dishonest, and that doesn't benefit me, and then no one wants to watch my stuff, and it doesn't benefit the brand either, and the person whose product it is. Like, people are just returning their products, they've got to deal with that. Returns are not something like any company selling anything wants to deal with. So they want honest opinions, and quite a lot of the time giving honest feedback to companies means they go back and make their products better. And I've done that before. A good product, but things that could be better, things could be fixed, and the next one comes in and those things have been fixed, and people take it seriously. Orange were one of those. I mentioned a problem with one of those things, and they pulled everyone back in, got it swapped around and changed things. So it's all good. They need honest feedback, and that's what we do.
And what kind of relationship do you have with brands? Is that all over the spectrum, from good to bad, or now that I hear you laughing? So do you have, let's say, value-added conversation with brands, or some brands say, okay, you know what, I'm giving you money, I want my video with that and that, or you have some kind of leverage or way to make things interesting without selling your soul to the devil?
I would never do anything that I don't want to do. Ultimately, for the majority of cases, I'll pitch the idea to them, or perhaps they'll even come to me with an idea. If they are aware of what I do, they're like, oh, we got this really great idea for a science video that would be good with our product. And they'll pitch the idea. They know what they're getting ahead of time, because I make sure they're aware of that. And when the video is produced and finished, it's like, there's your video. And the only revisions or notes that I'll take on that is if there's a mistake. Perhaps I've said a feature wrong, or because that happens sometimes. Maybe I didn't just get it quite right to represent the product the correct way. But it's never a case of they come back and say, hey, we don't like your opinion, change that. It's always just a case of like, I'm a very, very minor thing, just an error with the video, and that's the only notes I'll ever take. I'm happy to fix mistakes that I've made. I'm not happy to change anything that I shouldn't be changing. They get the video they get, and they can just like it.
Okay. And tell me how you handle the communication with your community. What do you do with the lousy comment, the troll, and the good stuff we all love on the internet?
Well, I've got a really lovely community. The majority of the comments I get on YouTube are very positive. People, I think the educational type of content, the intelligence of it, attracts
filters.
the people who would leave a horrible comment are not really watching.
Yeah.
There's a higher quality of person that's on the channel. I've also got a Discord community, and they're lovely community, lovely people, and they've built up this relationship with each other on top of that. So there is this self-regulation within the community where like nobody's being nasty because they all consider themselves one. But when the troll comments and nasty comments do come up, I should know better and I shouldn't respond. Don't feed the troll, as they say. But sometimes a comment is just so frustrating that it feels good to reply and let them know just what I think of them.
So be warned. All right, Scott, if people want to have more information about what you do, tell us again where we can find you.
You can find me on YouTube at CS Guitars.
Yes.
I've also got a website, csguitars.co.uk, and then all the social medias under that same tag.
All right, excellent. Scott, it was great to be able to meet you, and I hope you will survive the rest of 42 Gear Street.
I hope so too. It's been lovely meeting you.
Cheers. For the price of a magazine, subscribe to The Guitar Channel to access the full videos.